Hello faves, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Adenike of Nikki's Homemade here again. And as always, I'm back with another amazing, easy and accessible recipe for you to make at home. Our recipe today is called the native jollof rice. This is jollof rice but with a twist. And I can assure you it is nutritious as it is delicious. Let's get right into it. For this recipe, we're going to be using a lot of dried ingredients. One is our dried snails. So I'm going to be showing you how I prepped my dried snails before I used it. I'm going to be soaking this in water for about 1 hour. And then I'm also going to be using dried ugu, that's dried pumpkin leaves. I'm going to be soaking this in hot water as well for about 1 hour as well. And then I'm also going to be using dried pomo, that's dried cow hide. I'm going to soak this for 2 hours. After then, I'm going to be washing it. After 2 hours, this is me washing my dried snails. So I'm going to just be using a knife to scrape off the dirt. This takes quite a long process, but it's very important for you to wash your pomo properly. I'm done washing this now and I'm just going to set it aside. Now I'm going to be cleaning my snails. It's been over 1 hour as well, and I'm just going to salt this to just clean off the dirt and kill any germs that might be inside with the salt. I'm going to be cutting off the parts that I do not like from it as well. And I'm just going to boil this. That's the snails and the pomo together. I'm going to be spicing this nicely with some beef bouillon cube. I'm going to boil with some water, add some curry, some thyme, some garlic powder, and salt to taste. I'm going to add some more water to allow this boil nicely and then give this a good mix. After mixing properly, I'm going to cover this and allow it to boil for 30 minutes. Now back to our pumpkin leaves. As you can see, the pumpkin leaves are already soft. I'm just going to be chopping this on a chopping board into tiny bits as I'm doing. And then I'm going to go ahead and check on my proteins. My snails and pomo are ready now, and I'm just going to sieve them out of the broth and set aside. In order to make sure that your proteins do not overshadow the rice, you have to chop your proteins into tiny bits, or will I say small bits. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm chopping my snails and my cow hides, that's pomo, into small bits. Now I'm going to be prepping my pepper mix. This time I'm going to be using 3 shepherd peppers, 5 habanero peppers, 2 tomatoes, and 2 onion bulbs. I'm going to go ahead and blend this into a rough texture. I'm not going to allow it to be smooth, that's what I mean. And as you can see, it's not smooth, it looks very rough, just like the kind you use to make your vegetable soup. And then this is just the meat as well. I forgot to chop the meat earlier, so I'm going to go ahead and chop the beef as well for the rice. So this is what my beef looks like after chopping. Going through my ingredients, we have pepper mix, we have some shrimps, some pomo, and some snails chopped. We have some chopped beef, and then we have our diced ugu, that's pumpkin leaves, and then we have palm oil. So we're going to start cooking our rice now. We're going to pour some palm oil in a dry pot, and then we're going to allow the palm oil steam nicely because you don't want to have the palm oil silky taste. Now you're going to go in with your pepper mix and allow this to fry. You mix this so that it doesn't burn or stick to the bottom of the pot, especially if you're not using a non-stick pan. So this is me just mixing this nicely, and I'm going to leave this to fry for about 15 minutes just to evaporate the water and to allow the sauce or the pepper dry into the oil. After 10 minutes, it seemed like the pepper was sticking to the bottom of the pot, so I had to go and mix it again, but I still noticed that I had some water in it, so I left it again to fry. While it's frying, I went in with my mixed seasoning. This time I used some basil, beef bouillon cubes, salt, and some masala. I gave this a good mix to combine everything together while still allowing my pepper to fry nicely. This step is very important because if the pepper doesn't fry, it gives this weird taste which you would not like. So it's better the pepper fries nicely. So now I'm just going to wash my rice while the pepper is frying. I wash my rice about 4 times until I have clear water. Our pepper is properly fried now, and it just even looks like it's burnt a little. The burning can give this nice flavor as well. It can give the smoky jollof flavor. So I'm just going to go in with my rice, and then I'm going to combine the rice and the stew together. You can see some part of my sauce burnt, but I don't have a problem with that because, like I said, it has a nice flavor to it. It's not going to taste burnt, neither is it going to smell burnt, so you don't have to worry about that as long as it just stuck to the bottom of the pot a little. So I allow the rice to steam with the pepper first before I went ahead to add my beef broth. If you have chicken broth at home, you can go ahead and add it as well. And I don't usually sieve my beef nor chicken broth because I always spice my chicken and my beef or my proteins nicely. So I always want that spice that settles below inside my food. So I'm just going to add some more water so that the rice can cook properly. And I'm just stirring to make sure that the water I've added is enough. I'm going to use a foil to seal the it and cover, and then I'm going to allow this to cook for 15 minutes before I check it again. 15 minutes later, I checked my rice and I noticed that the water is not enough, so I added another cup of water. I'm going to go ahead and cover this again and allow it to cook for another 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, I'm going to go in with my pumpkin leaves. Let me also add that I don't cook my jollof on high heat. I cook on medium to low heat. Now I'm also going to be going in with my proteins. I'm using some shrimps, some snails, some pomo, and some beef, the ones we chopped earlier. And I'm just going to combine all this together nicely. If you've watched this video to this point, I want to say thank you. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel for more easy and accessible homemade recipes like this. After mixing, we're just going to allow this simmer for 5 minutes and our native jollof is ready. Just look at how beautiful it is. It looks very good and it tasted delicious as well. This is a twist to the regular jollof that we usually have. It's made with palm oil and it's made with ugu leaves. While I dish my food, I just want to say thank you for your support. Thank you for always watching my videos. Please recreate this video and give me your feedback in the comments. Also, let me know where you're watching my videos from so I can give you a shout out in my next video. Thank you very much once again. See you next time.